So we have the 10.11 tier list with this patch that's going to hit. So this is, I'm recording this on Monday. The patch is on Tuesday. There's a buff to Ul, which is kind of a major buff. It's a change and a buff at the same time. It's a major change for him. It should be pretty good. Neith got a slight buff. We saw a couple other changes here and there, but nothing crazy significant. But I haven't updated this tier list since 10.9. So this is almost like a 2-month gap, and a lot has changed because the meta has shifted. Different gods are being played, which just caused just weird shifts in the meta. And I want to update the original tier list based on that. The original tier list, we were kind of hitting with our SS tier, in my opinion. The Chiron is off. The Janice might be a little over the top. The Chiron is a little off. I'd probably put Chiron down into A tier. Chiron, I'm moving down to A. He's just not performing that great in ranked. I still think he's very annoying god, but he's not quite there. Janice, we're gonna move to S tier. I think Janice is great, but not Raijin great. I don't think they're on the same level. Mammon. Release the stats on Mammon. Mammon has the highest death rate ever on a new god and the second highest kill rate ever on a new god. So basically, everyone that's been playing Mammon just gets a kill and dies every single time they do anything on this god. Thing with that being said, most people I have watched play this god, like 99% of the people I've watched play Mammon, they don't know how the kit works. So they're playing the god, they're not reading the abilities because the abilities are really long paragraphs, and they have no clue how to play the god. It's kind of painful to watch what I've seen. So I think that's more attributing to this high death rate. I think the high kill rate says more because it shows how much damage this god is doing. Good Mammon players are going to kill everybody. It's going to be nuts. There's a chance, though, that if she keeps having a crazy high death rate, that they buff her instead of nerfing her, and I might throw up if that happens. Because, I mean, I'm down to play her in the jungler and clap cheeks, but that thing is going to be OP. Baka, we're moving way down. I think Baka is super underperforming now. I just don't think his farm is as relevant to the game because his kit is not strong against the gods that are being played. Kali still has a really good high win rate in lower ranks. Higher ranked kind of falls off, but I'm okay with leaving her in S. Thoth is performing great. Honor's probably the best ADC, but doesn't need to be banned. Second best ADC. Doesn't need to be banned though. Apollo, I placed way too high. Apollo should have been A tier. A plus, I think even would be pushing it, especially with this patch about to hit. Ares has been performing great. We're going to leave him in S tier. Baba Yaga, I'm borderline ready to move her back up to SS tier. She is crazy, especially with the ability to stack prophetic. And if you want to go the breastplate, which is the new OP item for mages. If mages are dying to physical damage, so assassins or warriors or hunters, and they go the breastplate with the upgraded breastplate, that breastplate gives 111 physical protections. And it gives you a burst of movement speed. 111 physical protections on one item. So mages like Baba or, you know, any of those mages that have like a tanky aspect to them, so Baba's ult, it really just kind of puts them super over the top. We've already seen Baba going two to three tank items or hybrid items because she goes prophetic, because she stacks it for free. So with breastplate being an option too, it makes it really scary. I'll leave her in S, but you could argue SS tier and I'd be right there with you. I think Bastad's a little high ranked here. I think Bastad's still a very good jungler, but I'm gonna move her down to A+. She's not crazy outperforming everybody. Freya has seen a big uptick in play and success in the duo lane. I think Geb is the highest win rate guardian. Yeah, he is. He's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's the highest win rate god in ranked right now. Geb, the guardian. Mercury. I threw Mercury up here because of the crit being better. Spectral wasn't doing as much and it was a little overvalued, and crit was coming back at that time. Crit is good now. You see it on hunters almost every game. Mercury apparently is really good now. He's the second highest winning assassin, I believe, in ranked currently, or maybe third. No, he's the third. It's Arachne and then Bastet and then Mercury, I think. Yeah, so he's definitely up there and he's doing well. I think he's better at lower ranks than at higher ranks. I think that's all it comes down to. So I actually do want to move him down to A+. Still good pick though. Scylla, I've been dumpstering on Scylla jungle. I think Scylla mid has been undervalued. We're putting Scylla and leaving Scylla in S tier. Susano is still probably the most Mickey jungler. It's crazy to say that Arachne with the highest win rate as an assassin isn't the most Mickey. Like, Arachne is a pop your 3 and run at people while pressing your other abilities and just landing autos. It's the most basic kit in the world. Susano does more in a team fight setting and is just as easy to play at this point with what they've done to him. I'll leave him in S tier. I'm at the point where I ban him if I know I'm playing against Susano mins. It's just not worth giving them the free easy god to play. Athena is crushing it since her buff. She at one point was peaked up to the rank #1 ranked guardian for wins. Marticarus has fallen off. His nerfs were enough. I'll probably move him down to A plus. I could see an argument made for A, but I do still think he's really solid with a good, with like, you know, in a higher rank, good teammates. I think he's really good. MLF, third or second best mage in the game right now. Fine with leaving her in S tier. Rama, I'm gonna move down to A plus. I think Rama's great. I just don't think he's super priority pick at any point in the game right now. Wukong is probably the best solo later in the game, next to the mage hybrid builds. Now my thing is, when these Wukongs are going against the hybrid mages, they're going damage builds. So they're basically playing like a second assassin, and they still can kill those hybrid builds and then out trade them in the late game. So I'm going to move Wukong up to SS. Thanatos is performing wonderfully in the jungle role right now. Built-in pen to his 2 makes him not care about the hybrid builds. All right. This is important. The stupid breastplate is OP, but when you have some kit, whatever your kit is, whatever god you're playing, if you have extra pen, it's nowhere near as big of a deal, and you do so much more damage than they expect. So Thanatos is going to stay there. Zhong Kui, we're moving way down to A tier. Just not doing it. I wish the A build was as good as I dreamed it was. We already moved Janice down. Chernobog, this was underrated as anything. Chernobog is the best ADC in the game. In my ranked games, I don't worry about Arachne at a high ranked. It's a little bit different once you get out of, like, you know, once you're below than Diamond. But Ao Pele, Raijin, Wukong, Chernobog, these are bans in like 90% of the games. Make a new SSS tier, put Chernobog there. Honestly, I'd be down. That god is crazy good, and it's very easy to play. You can be anywhere on the map, global ult, really good laning phase, hyper safe. Really no downside to playing Chernobog right now. Heimdall, I'm going to leave an A+. I like it. King Arthur, I'm going to leave an A+. Nuwa, I'm actually going to leave here. I've seen nobody build the right Nuwa build. I hope we have it on Smite Source, but I'm not sure. If I don't, and I remember, someone reminds me after this video, I'll upload it and get the right build up. Nuwa with that build crushes. Osiris getting another buff in the patch hitting tomorrow, but I don't think it matters. We're going to move him down to A tier. I think he's still just bad. Soul, we're going to leave an A+. Achilles, I'm going to leave an A+. Agni, A+. Amma, I like Amma a lot right now, but I don't know that I worry about her as much. Like, I think she's good, but I don't think she's great, so we'll leave her here. Art, we're going to move down. Even ability art, we're just going to move down to A tier. Bacchus is performing well. CERN, we're going to move down to A tier. Chrono's still dumbstring. Love him in the A+ tier. Kakulin's still having solid games. Fafnir is still solid. Ganesh, I think they just nerfed, so that's crazy, but I think he's still going to be A+. Hebo's doing good. Horus is doing good. Icha, I think, is the most underrated mage in Smite currently. The damage output she does is way higher than anyone really just processes. So I'm going to leave her in A+. They buffed her too in this patch. So that's the other reason I'm leaving her in A+. And I kind of want to move her up to S tier. They made her ult have 15% mitigations. So she's going to be a mage channeling for 6 seconds, tankier. And then I think, did they add cooldown? They changed something else on one of her other abilities. I don't know if it was cooldown. I don't think they hit the damage. They might have, though. She's going to be doing even better. And I just think it's a huge skill issue with Ichel and not a god issue right now. Izanami, I'm going to move... I'm going to leave Izanami an A+. More tailored towards people that are diamond and below to guarantee lane pressure. That's actually a really nice aspect to have. Yorm has started to underperform after his crazy beginning of the year. We're moving him down to A. Kepri's doing good. Kukulkan's getting a buff. Kukulkan's going to stay A+. Or are you watching out for him maybe to, you know, if he moves up, I'd be down. I like Kukulkan. I'm about some Kukulkan gameplay. Kuzimbo, I think, is doing fine. A+ is kind of a stretch. Maybe A. I'll leave him, though. I'm not going to go crazy with that. Merlin, I'm going to move down to A. I haven't seen him doing very much this whole year, and the further we get into the year, the more I just have to stop giving him credit. That's not due. Naja and A+ I like because of the CC. Nike, still one of the highest win rate gods in Smite, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. Nike is still the 5th highest win rate god in Smite. But what's crazy is Zeus and Anubis are also some of the highest win rate gods in Smite. Hades is the #1 highest win rate god in ranked. Whatever goes down in those bronze brackets, I don't know. It's crazy, but I'll leave Nike an A+. Raw, I like if you're good at positioning. I'll leave her an A+. Rat's doing good. Ravana, I'm moving down. I think Ravana is just underperforming and feels so bad right now. And it's crazy for him to go from the buffs they gave him, which were over the top, making him OP, to just reverting it and him feeling super lackluster. Gonna move him down to A. Set's gonna stay at A+. Shiva's gonna stay in A+. Shiva, I can move down to A, and I'd be fine with it. Sobek, I like for ranked. Gonna leave him in A+. Thor, we're moving up. Thor might be the best all-around ability jungler, because I don't consider... I mean, I guess Pele is ability, but I don't really consider it that, because Pele is more all-in, like Arachne, like Ao. where Thor is very much just play around the abilities. I think he's better than Thanatos, but Thanatos is simpler in his playstyle. And then I think Susano, if he didn't have his auto attack canceling, I'd put Thor above it because Susano's auto attack canceling is done for free now. I'm going to leave Susano up there. And these would be my 3 arguments for like your ability junglers at the top. I love Thor. Thor used to fall off back in the day. He one-shots now in the late game. It's crazy. Where are we at? Tiamat, I'm going to leave. Xbalanque, I'm probably going to move down. I haven't seen Xbalanque do anything in any games at all since the item changes and everything that I've gone through. We'll see. They're getting item buffs. We are getting the Demon Blade getting a buff and Oboe getting a slight buff. So we'll see if anything changes with Hunter, especially builds. Yuwon, move down to A. Solid god still, but not really performing all that great. Cleo, I'm going to leave. Kabrakan, I'm going to leave. Disco, I'm going to leave. Probably one of the more underrated mages as well next to Icho. Neith getting a buff. The Neith buff is just to her 2. So I'm not moving her. I'm going to leave her an A+. We've already moved down the rest of these gods. Go down to A tier. Serket, I'm going to leave here. Apwash, we have to move up. Apwash, we have to move up to S tier. With the hybrid breastplate build, Apwash is nuts. It's that simple. With going the hybrid builds and how tanky these gods are while still doing damage is crazy. Mindy saw the future, by the way. You guys know Mindy was probably the only person playing Apwash at the beginning of this year. And he was running the builds that are now being built. Now, granted, they're being built now because the items have been tweaked and buffed a little bit, made a little bit better. But he's literally got screenshots of him running these builds and saying these builds are good months and months ago. So it's just funny to see. Alquan back up on S tier. Wheelix. I think Wheelix is a little underrated right now. I think Wheelix is doing crazy damage. Gonna move her up to A+. Hachi moving up to A+ just because of his safety. He's a little underrated him because of his overall kit, but I think his kit's still solid and he's just super safe. Baron, I'd leave an A. Don't think he's safe enough or has a great position to play in. Camazotz, not quite S tier for me. Great counter pick to a lot of these gods like Olorun, and he's just seen a super uptick in gameplay and success, so he's moving up to S. Chunga's not moving. Chiron's not moving. Danza's not moving. Fenrir's not moving. Gilgamesh is moving down. I think Gilgamesh sucks. Trash. Doesn't do anything. Not worth playing in any role. Guan, I'm going to leave. You are seeing with they buff Fae Blessed Hoops. So the healing gods are getting played more, and gods like Yamoja have spiked if you're really, really good at the god in general, because the god is just better at pressing 2 now. But if you can land the rest of your stuff, you're broken. I don't know how that's really going to affect like your other healing gods like Guan and everything. I have to see more at an SPL level. Definitely value. In ranked, don't know if we're quite there yet. Could see if that starts happening. We move Guan up to A+. Hera, I'm going to leave. Hera's getting a buff, but I don't remember what it was. Do you guys remember what the Hera buff was? Breastplate is good right now. It's upgraded breastplate. It's insanely good right now. They buffed the shield. Oh, the shield cool. Oh no, they buffed the 2 damage and they buffed the 3 cooldown. So you'll probably see more Hera. I still think her as a god is pretty poo-poo, but she does hit hard. So maybe we'll see some movement. Herc's gonna stay the same. Hou Yi still can't clear. Hunbat's getting a buff. The Hunbat's buff was to his 1 though. And I don't think they changed anything else, right? Oh, they did. They changed the damage on Hunbat's dot alt. So like on the ticks of the ult, it does a little bit more damage. So early game Hunbat's going to do more damage and then have a lower cooldown on the 1. Still think he's A tier. Not moving him. Ishtar, I'm going to leave an A. Jingwen move up because of that one-shot build. Loki, I'm going to leave an A. Maui, I'm going to leave an A. He's getting a slight buff back up. Medusa, we're moving down. Medusa can't clear. She's like Cupid level, can't clear, and that's why we're moving her back down, or where she probably should have been. Mulan, we're going to leave. Nox, we're going to leave. Olorun, we got to move up. Olorun, if your team can learn to pay attention to whether your ult's up or not, Olorun's top tier OP. But most people don't do that in lower brackets, so that's where Olorun finds kind of like a fail moment from teammates, and it just makes the game harder to play. We've got Poseidon, I'm going to leave an A, just not safe enough. Scotty, we're going to move down. I think Scotty sucks. Just not safe enough to play the game. Sylvanas is getting a buff, I think, but I can't remember what it was. It was something minor. We're going to leave him. Terra, we're going to leave him. Tyr, we're going to leave him. Ul is getting a buff. Ul, we're going to move up to S tier. Borderline, I'm wondering if he's going to be SS tier, but just off of this assumption, I'm going to move him up to S tier. If you don't know what happened to Ul, the way Ul currently works on live is your ult, when you level it up, it has a passive. And it has a passive based on whether you're in bow stance or melee stance. That passive is attack speed and lifesteal, right? Or sorry, it's attack speed and lifesteal. They're changing it. So, and the 2 currently gives you power and movement. They're swapping it. So the 2 is going to give you attack speed in bow stance. And when you're in bow stance, just from your ult passive, you're going to get power. At the same time, they buff the amount of attack speed you get and the amount of power you get. So there's more power overall in the kit. There's more attack speed in the kit. Now, why this is relevant is because nobody runs around popping the damage 2 on live right now. No one's running around pressing the bow 2, swapping the axe, landing the axe, swapping back and hitting the 1-3 or the 3-1 combo on ult. This will make it so you always have 44 extra power whenever you're doing your full combo. So you're gaining an item. The god is essentially gaining a 7th item at all times. While there's other stuff in the game that was similar to this. This just makes a big buff to the combo for Ul, and I expect to see him perform better. The attack speed is also going to give him burst lifesteal attack speed. So if you are going some kind of AA build or whatever, you're just going to lifesteal of something, you can decide when you are lifestealing for a max amount, which is going to be nice. I think Ul is going to do a lot better, and I like Ul, so I hope he is. I'm playing him in the jungle, 100%. What up, Thomas? Fey boof. Dude, I combined all the words. Where are we at? We did Vulcan. We got to move down. Vulcan's not safe enough right now. I hope they find some way to make Vulcan safer because I want Vulcan to get played. Xing 10, I'm going to leave an A. Yamoja, I'm going to move up to A+ because of the Fey boof. You feel me? Fucked up now. The Fey Blessed Hoops, the ring item that is just OP, plus the rest of the auras. Essentially, the way I look at it right now is if you play Yamoja and you press 2 on somebody, they're unkillable. If you're near them and giving them auras, they literally will never, ever die. And it's super unfair and not fun to play against. Hades, I'm going to move Hades up because he's got the highest win rate in the game. That's simple. I don't think Hades is bad. I think it's a pure solo laner, but he's winning. And people are doing well. I just don't know what bracket that's happening in. Kumba, I'm going to leave even though I like Kumba right now. Chiron, we moved down. Baka, we moved all these other ones down, I think, already, right? Yeah, all these others are moved down in A. And then we get to the poo-poo gods. Bologna. Saw no change, still trash. Nemesis, no change, still trash. Anubis has 4th or 5th highest win rate in the game. The god sucks. That's got to be some bronze level stuff where people just don't react and they just eat a full ult or they think it's OP. I don't know what's going on with that. But we're leaving Anubis in B tier. I don't want you to, like, there's no reason. Ishtar, we're leaving a B tier. Afro, we're leaving a B tier. Atlas, we moved down already. Dodgy isn't bugged anymore. So Dodgy, we're going to move up to A tier. Still a good counter pick to a lot of gods, but not something you want to top pick. Hell, I'm going to leave here. Lance, I'm going to move up. This is almost like unwilling. I'm watching Lance do very well. If you guys know who Xe is, there's been videos on him. He was like a plat player for 5 years. He's now Masters from playing Lancelot. El Leon plays Lancelot and pops off. I've seen a couple Lancelot mains in ranked. They're doing well on him. I think he sucks. He feels terrible, but people are winning on him, so I'm going to respect that and put him up in A+. Chalk, I'm leaving. Charybdis, I'll move up to A just because she's safe, but she just doesn't feel that great unless you're having some wild aggressive lane. Cupid can't clear. Even with the buffs they're about to give to him, he still can't clear, so I'm going to leave him in B. If we see him make a comeback, I'll own up to it. We'll move him up. Odin, counter pick. The Morgan has been played a lot more. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what it is specifically. I don't know what's making her comeback. I don't know if it's just the combos with the gods that are being played right now, but the Morgan's being played. She's crushing it. I'm going to put her up to A+. I've also seen her one-shotting again, which I didn't think was possible. So that's cool. Also interesting. So Yomi still sucks. His ult sucks. Ymir still sucks because he's Ymir. He doesn't match up to any of the other Guardians in the game that have come out in the last 10 years. Because he's literally older than 10 years old. Zeus has, I think, the 4th highest win rate. Almost 54%. Similar to Anubis. I don't know what low-level players are doing against the Zeus to give them wins. Zeus sucks. Gilgamesh ready to move down. These other ones we moved down. C tier. All these suck. I could see an argument to move up AMC. I might have been harsh on AMC. We'll move him up to B. The rest, and Surtur. Sorry. And Surtur. Surtur should be A+. He's that buff change they made to him, plus Arch Druids and just the full tank build that's coming out. I kind of like seeing Surtur in ranked, oddly enough. Strange, but he hits hard. His one auto, like he just slams you for like 40% of your HP. It's kind of nuts. Rest of these gods suck. If you're playing them, I think you're trolling. Vamana just tanked in the ground when they nerfed his ult. Persephone's been shit forever. Erlang Shen tanked in the ground when they removed his knockup. Cthulhu, they're buffing, but I still think he sucks because he just dies. And then Ardio sucks. Here we are. Persephone is poop, dude. Persephone is poop. This is our 10.11 tier list, the patch that comes out on 10/24, which is tomorrow for me. And I'm excited because I'm excited mainly to play Ul. That's like my big thing. I don't even remember the skins that are coming out. I'm just very interested to play Ul. If you guys want to see the tier list, the video will go up tomorrow, but also the tier list is on Smite Source, all right here if you need to look at anything. There you go. Jordan, fuck you.